力貸してや
Hi, Mega Arcade. If you have never seen this boss before, it's Act 3, Chapter 10, Part 2, something. It's Hope's event, when Hope's FR dropped. It was a nightmare then. It's not as bad now because we have overpowered FR Echo units. I'm not an overachiever by any means, so I did 1,000 different FRs. In my opinion, when it comes down to it, clearing fights. If you're under the turn count threshold, if you meet the HP damage requirements, and you meet the score requirements, that's fine. You passed. You did a good job. Move on. You know, there are other content creators that strive for, you know, 0 turns or low turn count or a no boss turn or whatever have you. That's great. You know, obviously you want to be the best player you can be. But when it comes down to it with these kind of fights where they're just, you pull your hair out, just get it done. What it wants. Obviously, you see the boosted characters glowing white on the party screen. It wants Hope. This is Hope's event. This was Hope's event before. Also, for new players, just a side note. Apparently, I don't know if you knew this. I didn't know this. Most players probably do. Apparently, if you clear a Dare to Defy, and it's the same event as the one that dropped before, like 9-10 months ago, or whatever, it clears that fight. So you don't have to do this twice if you didn't do Hope's original event, and it's unlocked. So if you unlock it and decide that you only want to do it once, it's great. You'll get the rewards for both. So I didn't know that. So that's pretty cool. We got about 17 more minutes to talk here. I'll talk a little bit about the fight. My mindset was, okay, well, it wants Hope, so I'm going to bring Hope. I generally bring boosted characters to make my life easier. I don't like to necessarily think if I don't have to. It's a pretty strategic game anyways, so the less thinking you do, the better you'll be. I brought Aerith because she's top 5. Super strong. You want to pace yourself and you want to be patient, but at the same time, it is a force race. So you want to use Hope like you have before. If you've never played Hope, just increase the gauge as much as humanly possible. Just, that's his job. A couple protects, a couple shells, skill 1, skill 2, EX if it's up. Skill 1, skill 2, LD. You want to have just a bit of patience here because this is not necessarily a couple of unit rotations, a couple of abilities. You're good. Get your burst effects up, start your FR rotations, and melt the fight. That's not going to work here. I'm gonna try to pronounce this. Bhunivelze. Bhunivelze. I don't know. I don't care. Most people really don't care. But I probably butchered the boss's name. It's from Final Fantasy 13. Yeah. Don't mess around with this fight. Just get it done. just get it done. Calls. I'll go over calls. I brought Raijin. Surprise, surprise. Because bring Raijin. Just do it. if you are running a strat in which you are not allowing the boss to have a turn, then you could probably run some other call. But if you're playing the game just normally and the boss is going to take some turns, use Raijin. Raijin also makes it so that she can't put any crazy debuffs on you. So, and of course, with Aerith as well, Seal Evil. Sarah, good debuffer to mitigate the damage output. I mean, you'll see sometimes the boss is really only hitting ones. That burst effect is so good. No turns on the burst effect. It only goes away if, I believe it's either the whole party or just one unit dips below 50% HP. But if they don't, like if you have, Protect and Shell up and whatever else, that burst effect is not going to go away. And on the turn 3 of the overhead, you see that nuke will drop. Holy. So I probably could have popped that optimally somewhere else, that General Leo call. I just have a habit when I'm going to go in on whatever phase or whatever damage time, I usually pop General Leo's call. It's just a habit. And it usually delays. But because this boss is not very nice and has 1,000 different mechanics and it's got framed turns, it won't delay. So don't bring delayers. If you like launch team comps, there's like a certain percentage on its force gauge that doesn't allow it, so you can't knock back / launch. So don't do that. I was originally going to bring Sid Reigns, and it would be a Final Fantasy 13 themed unit. Great. I like launches. I like burning fights, melting fights. I like just completely just decimating boss fights. That's not going to work here. You got to be patient, or you're going to get the business. I probably should have said this earlier. I'm not sure if I said it before. Don't bring melee. Please don't. It doesn't want melee. I think you'll hit for ones or something like that, and it's got a recast that will just auto kill you, and that's not even including the force gauge. That's just its own recast gauge. So don't bring melee. If you're a veteran player and want to bring melee and do the Tifa Kane thing, then that's fine. I might have done that before. I think when this fight first dropped, Tifa was really the only viable unit besides maybe Renoa that had the damage output required. So you had to kind of do some things to bypass the recast to kill melee units. I think he maybe had to go in a summon or something like that. I really don't remember because it's been such a long time since this boss first dropped. If you want to do that, do it at your own risk and use summon and burst phase and all those good things strategically. It wants magic, so please just bring magic. just make it easier on yourself. It's one less mechanic that you essentially have to worry about. Yeah. So, what's going on screen? Skill 1. I want to make sure the debuffs don't run out. Here, I'm getting a little nervous because I'm running out of force time and we're still at 45%. And unfortunately, Hope got the last turn. he's not going to have the highest damage out of this unit. Aerith Burst Effect did go off, so I did get lucky there. I'm just going to do an EX. Here's where it gets kind of scary, because after the 50%, you're starting to run out of juice. I did both FR Echoes for Aerith there, so she doesn't have an FR to get the HP damage bonus back up. So I'm like, well, I gotta just mash skill 1, and it's a race. If this enemy's force gauge went any faster, I'm not necessarily too sure if we would have made it here. It was very close. So skill 1, that holy burst effect, I don't know. I think that's the coolest thing. That off turn, so cool. C65, just because I can take all the help I can get. This dispels. This dispels and cleanses. It may have some other effects, but I was getting kind of desperate with just doing anything to uptick the force gauge. So I was like, I'm just gonna do any free stuff that I can do. Okay, so Hope is doing a great job of mitigating this damage. They almost hit for nothing. We have HP damage overflow. This is still a really nice force effect here. The percentages are still optimal in my opinion. These are great. Okay, so we have some free skills, of course, with that FR. Otherwise, we would have ran out of juice a long time ago. I do the obligatory S1 and S2 with it. EX. This is pretty good damage even in this era. Not bad. Not bad at all. I am getting nervous. We only have 7 turns for this force. I was thinking I probably should refresh her burst effect. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to wait until the HP damage bonus is a little higher. Just a little bit. Just a little higher before I pop that burst effect to renew it. I probably should have EX'd here. EX, I think, does a bit more damage. I don't know. For a support, she has crazy damage. I wanted to make sure that the debuffs weren't coming, so I decided to LD there. We got some free skills, so I S2'd. Love that follow-up. Sarah's always been one of my favorites. She was a global first LD. And I've been running Sarah here and there since she got that global first LD. Back in the Lufenia days, where the orb was everything. Okay, this should hit pretty hard, this EX here. Yeah, that's damage. Boom! Ridiculous damage. Okay. And here's the, you know, with anything, you do want your burst effects up, but at the same time, you do want to utilize the damage you get out of them as well. It's still an attack at the end of the day. So if you can somehow incorporate the damage back into just having the effect up, to me, that's optimal. So I waited until we got a decent amount of HP damage bonus up, essentially before we popped that BT effect. I should have probably just Brave attacked here. I think it does more. It might do more HP attacks. Skill 2 here to uptick. No, I did LD here. I did LD. I was thinking S2 to build that force right back up. This isn't the prettiest run at all. I mean, generally speaking, I'll do one or maybe even two FRs. Or if it's FR Echo, just the one FR is fine. This boss has a ridiculous amount of HP. That can't be... that can't be explained enough. Just a ridiculous amount of HP. EX... follow up. We want to get that FR back up. Do we have an FR left? We use Aeriths. I'm pretty sure we started FR Echo with Sarah. I think we might have one Hope FR left. But the boss has turns, so we could die here. Like, the boss could be like, well, I'm glowing this yellow stuff. I don't really care that I'm at 13%. I still have one tick of my boss force. I could swipe you out. So that's in kind of the back of my head. Because, I mean, obviously you don't want bosses to have turns. But at the same time, if you're not running units that have instant turn, you're going to be susceptible to HP attacks and recasts. It's just going to happen. And if you don't have the right units, you're going to get got. It's going to happen. So, yeah, bring damage mitigation for this. Raijin Call, just for the attack up. Brave attack because I kind of ran out of skills. This isn't looking too great for our heroes here. This was very scary. It did very minimal damage because I had all the buffs up. Had we not had the correct buffs up, that probably would have killed us easily. LD. Follow up. 11%, 87% on the force gauge. This is looking pretty scary, especially since we only have one FR left. We finally got the 100%. We're popping that baby. We're not messing around. And of course, with the Hope FR effect, we'll get some of our skills back. 11% yellow glowy stuff. Stagger. So that's what we want. And we get that stagger from Magic Brave force abilities. Okay. 10%. EX. Please do a lot here. 9%. I don't know if we're going to make it. We got some free skills. But we want the damage. But we want the free skills. So we S2. Follow up. 6%. This is a lot of damage. Or this is a lot of HP. EX. This is going to hit like a truck. This is the support doing numbers. Boom. 2%. 1% with the burst effect. Are we going to make it, or is she just going to kill us here? Ooh. EX. And done. This was a nightmare. Who would you run? Please leave a comment below. If you like this, please leave a like. And thanks for watching.